training number 13. Today we're going to focus on abs, legs, and shoulders, and we're starting with an alternating boulder holder side lunge. So holding the weight on your shoulder, you're going to support it with your core and your arms. You're going to step out to the side into a lunge, switch the weight to the other shoulder, and then step out to the other side. So make sure you're not compromising your back. Don't round your shoulders forward. After that, we're going to move on to single front raises. So starting on the right, raising the arm up in line with the shoulder. You're going to slowly lower back to start. So again, you're going to feel this engage your core. So you don't want it to pull your back. You don't want to round your shoulders again. Make sure your abs are in tight, shoulders are pulled back. Squeeze your abs the whole time. Next, we're focusing on legs, but again, we're still keeping our core engaged. With a forward and backward lunge, you're going to use a heavy weight. Don't rush through this one. I want you to focus on the form, so 90-degree bend in the legs. One side first, and then we'll switch to the other side. Next, we have side plank hip dips. So on your forearm, touching your hips to the mat. We've done those before. And next, we have a Russian twist. Again, something we should be familiar with. Squeeze your abs in, keep your back flat, and carefully twist. Next up, we have an elevated leg sit-up. We're using our weight here. Use a weight that's going to challenge you. I'm using about 14 pounds. So again, it's not too intense to where I can't perform the movement safely, but it's just enough resistance that it's going to help engage my core a little bit more. Following that, we have a plie squat with an Arnold press. So I'm using a lighter weight here. We're performing higher reps. So you're going to dip down into a nice deep plie. As you come up, you're going to press. And our last exercise is a frog crunch. So arms and legs extended and elevated. You're going to carefully bring everything into squeeze, keeping your knees out wide and your heels together. So 8 exercises today. Our first one, alternating boulder holder side lunges. We have 2 sets of 20 reps. And again, here I'm using 14 pounds. Use something that's going to challenge you, but that's not going to compromise your back. Really sink back into the hips and into the glutes as you're lunging. Push through the heels to power back up to center. Stay strong, squeeze the abs in tight. As you're moving through, you're going to feel the weight press down on your core more as you get more fatigued. So just again, squeeze the abs in tight, back flat. If you need to pause to make sure that you're using good form still, take a little breather and then keep going. It's only 2 sets of this, and I want you to take about 20 seconds rest in between. So we're moving quickly through this weight training workout today. Keep it up, squeeze the abs in, and as you're moving the weight from side to side on your shoulders, you're going to feel your core engage. So really take advantage of that, squeeze the abs in. You get a nice ab bonus on this one. Don't forget to breathe and keep pushing through. You're almost there. So take about 20 seconds rest. And when you're ready, let's go for that second set. Again, 20 reps total, so about 10 reps on each side. Don't rush through it. Take your time. And so as you step out into that side lunge, I want you to make sure that your other foot stays flat. You don't want to go onto the side of the foot. You can definitely injure your ankles that way. So you want to keep everything safe and stable. So again, that's why I mentioned moving slowly through this. You don't want to rush it. So keep it up. Work those abs. Breathe. Don't give up yet. It's only her first exercise. You're almost through it. We're going to focus on our shoulders next. This should be getting nice and warm with this exercise. I want you to make sure that you're supporting the weight on your shoulders with your core and your arms. So you're not just letting the weight press into your shoulder. Almost there. Keep it up. These look like nothing, but you'll get fatigued quickly. So again, remember those cues for good form. Go ahead and set your weight down, and let's move on to single front raises. Again, starting on the right, the arm is going to raise in line with the shoulder, so shoulder height, and then you're going to slowly lower back to start. Again, squeeze your abs. You're going to feel this pull on your shoulders and on your back as soon as you lift your arm up, so resist that. And again, use a weight that's going to challenge you. I'm using 12 pounds here. That's something that was challenging for me, but something that wasn't going to compromise my back and my form. And we could switch sides in between sets. So one set of 12 on one side, switch to the other arm, 12 reps. We're performing 2 sets of 12 reps total. Keep it up, keep breathing. Keep that back flat, don't let your shoulders round forward as you get fatigued. And if by the second set you need to lighten up a little bit, just go down a couple pounds. So here we go. After your 20 seconds rest, move on to your second set. Again, 12 reps. Keep it up. These are great for getting that little cut in the front of your shoulders. This is really good for building up that shoulder muscle. And again, you're getting a little bit of an ab bonus here. You're working your back. Now switch to the other side. Last set of 12. And then after this, we're moving back to legs and we're going to focus on core again. Remember, it's only 12 reps. Move through at a moderate pace, don't rush it. Make sure you're not swinging the weight up. No momentum here. Keep it up. Almost there. Moving on, so now we're going to grab a really heavy weight, so something that's going to challenge you for a forward and backward lunge. I'm using 35 pounds here. So again, that was a good challenging weight for me. That may be too light for you, it may be too much for you. So again, just something that's going to challenge you, that's going to engage your core, where you're going to feel your legs working, and you should be fatigued after one set. It's only 10 reps. So lunging forward and lunging back equals 1 rep, 10 total, 2 sets on each side. And we can alternate sides after, so we'll move on to the other leg next. Almost there. Don't let your back slump forward, and make sure you're getting that 90-degree bend in the legs. So let's move on to the other side. 10 reps. And again, about 20 seconds rest in between sets. Squeeze your abs in tight. Your entire body is working on this one. Your back working, your abs, you're working your arms by holding that weight up. Everything's bearing down on your legs as you move through the lunges. So just be aware of your form, don't get lazy. If you get too fatigued to maintain good form, take a little breather. Almost there. So take a rest. Again, moving back to the right side. 10 reps. Here we go. That's 1, 9 more to go. Here we go, last 8. Keep it up. And again, don't blast through this. Keep it up, we're almost to that other side. Just one more set to go after this. And then we're going to shift our focus back to core. So here we go, last set. Back on our left leg, lunge forward, lunge back, that's 1 rep, 9 more to go. Make sure you're breathing. I'm sure you're pretty fatigued at this point. Do not let that weight drop. And don't let that weight round your shoulders forward. Keep everything engaged here. Keep breathing. Stay strong in the legs. We're almost to that side plank. So set your heavy weight down, grab a lighter weight. I'm using 8 pounds here. So up on your forearm, legs are stacked. We have 12 reps. So 2 sets of 12 reps per side. We're just holding the weight up. That's going to add some resistance. You're going to touch your hips to the mat and then squeeze up. So take a breather. We'll stay on the same side before we switch. Again, 20 seconds rest, and then move on to that second set. Here we go, 12 reps. And so as you're holding that weight up, you want to make sure that the weight is not going to drop forward. It's not going to drop backward. You want to keep your spine in line, so keep your back flat here. If holding the weight up like that is too much, you can just keep your hand at your hip to add the resistance. So let's switch to the other side after you've taken your 20 seconds rest. And again, 2 sets of 12 reps. Really squeeze through the obliques to lift your hips up. Squeeze your obliques to resist the gravity as you lower your hips to the mat. Make sure your shoulders and your back are in line. Take a little breather. And now second set, last 12 reps. So after this, we're going to stick with focusing on our abs for a little bit. We have a Russian twist coming up next. So we're going to grab a heavier weight for that. So go ahead and set your lighter weight down. Grab your heavier weight. Get in a V-seat position. And then twist side to side. Try to tap the weight to the floor. Squeeze your abs. That whole twisting motion is controlled by squeezing your abs. You're engaging here. You're not using the weight as momentum to throw your back out. Stay nice and strong. So you want to use a heavy weight. So again, I'm using 14 pounds. It's not too heavy, but it's something that I can maintain that's not going to pull on my shoulders, hurt my back. Something that's just going to add some good resistance for my abs. So 2 sets of 20 reps here. And again, breathe. Exhale as you twist. Inhale when you reach center, and exhale to twist. So quick breaths to go with the quick motion. Almost there. After this, we're going to need our chair for the elevated leg sit-up. And again, I'm going to stick with my 14-pound ball. So feet are on the chair, or you can use a stool or a stability ball. Weight overhead. You're going to sit up and try to tap the weight to your toes. So as you're bringing that weight overhead, make sure you're not flinging it. You're not launching yourself up. You're squeezing your abs to carefully bring yourself up. Your arms are keeping the weight stable. Your core and your chest are working to bring you up. So 2 sets of 20 reps. Again, nice and slow. Don't fly through it. The more you try to fly through it, the more you're going to end up using the weight as momentum. You're not even going to engage your core, and you're going to risk injury in your back. So take your time with this. I know it's very tempting to rush through, especially as you're fatigued. But you want to gain the benefit of the workout. You don't want to just waste your time here. So nice and strong. Keep going. If 20 reps is a bit too challenging for you, you can split it up into 10 reps and maybe do 3 or 4 sets. You can try 2 sets of 15, but I want you to try to challenge yourself, as this is a movement that we've done before. So once you hit 20 reps, take about 20 seconds rest, let your abs stretch out, let your arms relax a second, and then get right back into that second set. Again, 20 reps. And then after this, we're going to bring the focus back to our legs and to our shoulders. Nice and strong. Breathe. Exhale as you come up. Inhale nice and slow as you come back down. And as you're coming down, make sure you carefully unravel your back to the mat. So you're not flopping on the mat. Remember, you want to come down one vertebrae at a time, and that's going to, again, keep your abs engaged and make sure that they're controlling the movement and not anything else. If your arms get too fatigued and you can't hold the weight up, you can either grab a lighter weight or you can just eliminate the weight altogether, but I want you to try to finish out the 20 reps on the sit-ups. So it's good for strengthening your core, for strengthening your hip flexors. There's a lot of benefits to this movement. Not to mention the activation on your abs is going to be a lot more intense than other ab exercises. So we've completed 20 reps. Let's grab our lighter weights again. I'm using 8 pounds. Dip deep into a plie, come up and press. 2 sets of 15 reps. Nice and strong. We're using a lighter weight here, so you can move a little bit more quickly, but again, do not compromise form. Back is flat, abs are in tight. Pressing through the heels to squeeze up. Almost there. So again, about 15 to 20 seconds rest in between, and then let's get right into that second set, 15 reps. And then after this, we only have one more exercise to go. We're focusing on abs, and there's no resistance there, just body weight. So do not give up now, you guys are almost done. Keep going, keep going. I know the shoulders are burning, I know the legs are burning. Just fight through it. Exercise is all about mind over matter, so it's all about telling yourself that you can do this. Your muscles will absolutely let you know when they are fatigued. You will feel yourself come to failure. So if you haven't reached that point yet, I know you can keep going. So here we go. Frog crunch. 2 sets, 15 reps. Arms and legs extended, legs are elevated, shoulders are off the mat, core is engaged. As you bring your legs in, you're going to bring your hands to meet your heels. Inhale as you extend, exhale as you squeeze in. You're almost through that first set. Take a breather, 20 seconds, and then let's get into our second set. So I just want to show you a modification for this. So bring your hands behind your head, start with your legs on the mat, and you can drive your knees in towards your chest and just bring your elbows to meet your knees. So it's a good modification for you to try if keeping everything elevated and extended is a bit too advanced. But if you can perform that advanced movement, don't cheat yourself. Do the advanced movement. You want the most bang for your buck here in these workouts, so don't quit, don't give up, don't be lazy. The whole reason you're doing this is because you had specific goals, and this is going to help you reach them, but you have to put the work in. So now that we have the worst of it over, let's get into our stretch. We're going to bring one knee in bent. Opposite knee is going to stay lifted, but you're going to bring your foot over the outside of the leg, and we're going to twist. So right arm is pressing into the left leg is twisted over the right leg. It seems a little confusing, but it's a really good stretch for your back, for your hips, for your arms. So it's a really good stretch for your whole body here. You feel a bit like a pretzel, but it feels great. And then twist to the other side. Breathe, look over the back shoulder. Now unravel yourself, bring your heels together. Let's go for a nice butterfly stretch. So lift, flat back, and then fold. You can grab your feet to pull yourself deeper. You could press your elbows into your legs to open your hips wider. And just let the tension release. Extend your legs straight. Deep inhale, reach the arms up. Fold forward. Again, grab your feet. Inhale, extend the back, and then fold. Again, resist temptation to round forward through your shoulders. If you feel your shoulders driving forward to push that stretch, I want you to try to pull them back. You never want to drive any movement by rounding your shoulders forward. Now let's bring the legs out wide. Stretch the hips further, stretch the thighs. And again, release any tension lingering in the back. So once you walk out as far as you can, just hold that position and breathe. If you can get deeper into the movement, try to push yourself deeper. But again, don't compromise your hips, your joints, anything. If you feel like you're about to pop, I want you to pull back a little bit. Now from there, let's do a side body stretch. So right arm on the mat, left arm extended overhead. If you can grab your toe, go ahead and grab your toe. You could pull yourself deeper. You may not be as flexible. And as always, one side is always more flexible than the other. So just work with where you're at and gently push to get more flexible. And now, standing tall, deep inhale up. Grab the elbow, just releasing any further tension from the arms here. Stretch the arm across, stretch out those shoulders. And on the other side, stretching out the triceps. We didn't do anything specifically with the triceps, but your upper body was definitely working to maintain the weight throughout all of those different exercises that we did. So you want to release that tension. Deep inhale, stretch to the side, over to the other side, and you guys are done. Take a big stretch up and release. Nice job.